Big week for Bad Batch, you guys. Not only has Echo returned, but Crosshair ends up warning the Bad Batch, hopefully trying to get himself back in good with those guys. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Sector for Nerds. I'm Ryan Brower. Today we're here to talk about Star Wars The Bad Batch Season 2, Episode 14, Tipping Point. I do have a quick update for next week's videos, you guys, because I will be out of town, I will be on vacation, and I will be leaving that day, that morning that those episodes come out. So here's what's the plan is going to be for the moment, assuming everything kind of goes the way that I'm thinking it might go, because I don't know for sure how everything's going to go. But here's kind of what I'm hoping for, right? My first priority for next week is going to be to cover the Bad Batch episodes, because not only is it 2 episodes, but it's the season finale. So that's going to be really big. That's going to be my first priority next week. I'm hoping to get that video out either Wednesday night or sometime Thursday. And then as far as Mando goes, that video probably won't be released until sometime between like that Friday and that Sunday, just depending on what I all have going on. Because truth be told, I don't know everything that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to get those videos up at the earliest convenience, you guys. I'm going to do the best that I can to get everything up for you guys, because I know that y'all want to get my thoughts on this. And I definitely want to be covering it, so I cannot wait for next week's episodes. But you know what else I can't wait for? To talk about these episodes as well, because yesterday we had our chat about Mandalorian, which I really enjoyed, and I really enjoyed this week's episode of Bad Batch as well. I would say the first big part about this episode that we got to talk about, you guys, is Echo making a return. We see him at the beginning of the episode with some clones. I think one of them was Gregor as well, which was very cool to see him again. And we were freeing Hauser, which is awesome, because I'm like, man, like we had that arc with Hauser in season 1. I'm like, where the heck has he been? Like, has no one gone to get him or whatever? And sure enough, we're getting him here. The Imperial officer that they were going to capture ends up killing himself the way that one clone did earlier in this season. It's the same thing that the officer in Mandalorian did as well in season 2. Echo ends up going to Pabu to reunite with the Bad Batch. There's a nice moment with him and Omega. I thought he was kind of like a bit of a jerk to Omega. Like, not completely, but when Omega was like, oh, it's been so long since we've seen you. And Echo kind of just says, like, it hasn't been that long. It's like, Echo, come on, man. Like, she's clearly missing you. Like, why do you got to do that, man? Because then for her, it's like, well, it feels like it's been a long time. I don't know. I think he could have been, like, a little bit less of a jerk about it, but that's just me. But we need tech to decrypt some information that they got from the Imperial ship. They were deleting it, of course, so they had to be able to just decrypt whatever info that they had. And so they find out, where they were going to be taking the clones to, Dr. Royce Hemlock, who we see in this episode. He's like the guy that ends up torturing Crosshair. And they find out too, like, hey, Crosshair was taken here and he sent us a signal. And so everyone kind of started to get their hopes up for a second, like, wait, what? Crosshair defected from the Empire? But Hunter was obviously a little bit hesitant, like, this could obviously be a trap. And I want to get into it, you guys, our Bad Batch member of the week for this week. And for those who might be new to watching these videos, for those who don't know what it is that I'm talking about, every week for Bad Batch Season 2 so far, I've been doing a new segment called Bad Batch Member of the Week, where I kind of highlight a specific character in this episode, like a specific member of the Bad Batch that really stood out to me. And I think for this week, you guys, it has to be Crosshair. I was thinking Echo, but then I kind of changed my mind, because I'm like, you know what? Crosshair really pulled through in this episode. Not only did he not talk and like give them any information about Bad Batch or Omega, but he freaking sent them like a warning, like being like, hey, Plan 88, which basically meant, hey, we're being hunted, get out of sight, stay hidden. So that was really cool. And I think it is going to lead to the Bad Batch making their way to this planet that Crosshair is on and rescuing him. And I think that's what the next episode is going to be all about, right? Like Crosshair finally getting back in the Bad Batch. Hopefully we get like this clone rebellion doing its thing at this point, because it feels like everything is there for it. Like all the seeds have been planted. We just got to frickin' make it grow. You know what I'm saying? Put some water on those seeds. Now, very interesting, you guys, when they were talking about where they were taking the shipment, right? They were talking about Balmorra it's a planet that you can go to in Star Wars The Old Republic. It's like one of the first planets that you go to in those stories. I think if I remember correctly, it's actually like if you're a bad guy, you go there as like one of the first planets, but if you're a good guy, you end up going there like later in the game, like halfway through. Omega spent a good portion of time in this episode flying. Tech was teaching her, and poor Tech looked stressed out because Omega was just like zooming past everybody, like going super fast, and then she's making all these sharp turns, and I'm like, oh my gosh. But I think it is gonna lead to like her really coming in to like save them, like when the time comes, right? Like if she has to pilot the ship to get them out of there, like of whatever mission they're on. We get to see Senator Chuchi again in this episode. She's kind of become like a crucial ally in this clone rebellion that we're building here. And Echo tells Hunter later in the episode, because, you know, Echo and Hunter have this conversation like, so you guys plan on staying here? And you know, Hunter's like, what are your plans? And it's like, you know, you can't win against the Empire. And Echo's like, this isn't about winning against the Empire. It's about just fighting for the freedom of our brothers. And yeah, like, I don't know, you guys, like, let's just say we do get this clone rebellion. I don't know where it's necessarily gonna lead, because it's not like we see it in Rebels or anything like that. So like, yeah, we'll have this rebellion, but how long does it last before like the Empire wipes it out? Or, you know, what's gonna happen to the Bad Batch? Have they officially announced a season 3 yet? I guess I would rather not know, because it leaves more suspense going into the finale. But I really hope this show continues, you guys. I've really been enjoying the Bad Batch. By the end of this episode, like, there was so much that happened in these 30 minutes that it just flew by for me. Because, like, we kept, like, I was so into it, like, everything was moving so quickly. It was like, oh my gosh, like, it's done already? But this was a nice episode to set up, like, the finale episodes. Very, very excited, you guys. You'll have to let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I would also, in my opinion, much rather use Pabu as a home base at this point than Sid. Like, I just want us to, like, completely move on from Sid at this point. She's been around and causing trouble long enough. So yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts on this episode in the comments below. I believe that is going to wrap us up for today, you guys. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this video with others to help support the channel, and I will see you guys next time.